grew up in a Samoan family, Christian household, with my parents both being pastors. You're expected to kind of follow that path as well. But unfortunately, as a really young kid, I kind of found my own path, and mate, it's probably the easiest kid any parent could ask for. I was pretty much doing what I wanted to do from the get-go. It kind of started off at a really young age. Your simple stealing dollar lollies from the shop. Started stealing from malls, your local electronics stores. We tried to take it further by stealing cars and stuff, but no one knew how to drive cars at, 12, 13 years old. So we're just stealing number plates, I don't know why, but it seemed cool at the time.
So I come from a Christian home as well. Everything to do with the church, I was that person. I would knock on doors to invite people to their church. Just really good Christian home, really great upbringing, and I was very well loved.
Yeah, so we kind of met up at 17, and it pretty much started from there. High school sweethearts. Or for me, she had to go through a lot of frogs to find her prince. Is that how I like to put it?
But yeah, no, he was just really kind, generous, loving, and just not what I had been used to. We finished high school, I got a job, and we just started setting up a life as if we were married.
We were probably living together for a year and a half, but my whole family thought I was still living at home. Because what I was doing was obviously sleeping at our place, at our house, and then going home during the day or whenever I could after work or whatever it was, just to show face. I guess that's when the whole double life kind of came into play. It's because we bounced off each other really well. Even at the age of 17, we just knew what we needed to do to get what we wanted.
We started, racking up a lot of debt to fill this house because, we had no idea of, how to spend money. Like, we just started working. We had this newfound freedom, so we started holding massive parties. Yeah.
We never thought anything of it. We never thought about anyone as well. They were hurting throughout the process as well.
No consequences whatsoever. We were still going to church on Sunday after having, just getting in the morning at, 8 a.m. and getting ready to go to church. And, I'm singing in front of the congregation, hungover or still drunk. This was the double life that it was so normal to us, and our parents were none the wiser.
I was in and out of work because I was obviously drinking more than going to work. So because of that, we fell into more debt. People were lending us money, but even companies, they were lending out money. Like, we knew how to get as much money as we could and then not pay anything back. And we went to Australia with the mindset, hey, this is us. We're going to set ourselves up properly. We're going to go to church, live the Christian lifestyle that we thought we were going to live. But because we were carrying over the same masks over to Australia, the same lifestyle, the same baggage, we just fell into a deeper hole. Our family kind of referred to me and Ruth as the Māori and Samoan Bonnie and Clyde, which is funny enough because I do believe that's how we lived our lifestyle.
Just jumping from job to job to job, but we knew exactly what to say to the interviewer to make them believe that we are the ideal candidate. Getting that first pay enough to, get us through the next big party that we're going to throw, and then not caring about that job, and then quitting, and then going on to the next one. At that point, we had pretty much exhausted all avenues. There was no money coming from anywhere. Jobs weren't coming, Hans wasn't working, yet he was spending whatever we did have, from what I was making, on gambling, and just losing it all, and there was just no good streaks coming.
I struggled with alcohol really bad, so I was drinking pretty much from Tuesday to Sunday. You include drugs, so I got really addicted to gambling. I was losing thousands of dollars at the casino, playing poker, blackjack, roulette, whatever it was. I was ringing back home quite a lot to mum and dad, asking them for money. This wasn't small amounts of money. I was asking for thousands and thousands of dollars. Over the period they were in Australia, I had spent their savings that they put aside for a house. Looking back at it now, it hurts to know that my parents went through that just to kind of, show that they still love me. They could have cut me off easy, They knew it was all lies, but they still chose to send that money through. So that's how bad it kind of got for us. And even through all that, in those times, there was still no remorse on our end. It was still happening. We still didn't care. We still carried on with our life. Because I thought I was doing the right thing by gambling our last to hopefully win big so that we could pay debt. Worst way to do it, by the way. And it never happened. It got to the point where we were both not working. I had just spent our last on gambling and we were homeless. We literally chucked everything in trolleys and trolleyed our stuff to a park. And you would think that would be a turning point for us to kind of change our ways, but it didn't happen then as well. We kind of continued on for another good few years, living in houses where we did not pay rent.
We had found our identity in our party culture and drinking with our friends, and we were just lost and we didn't know how we were going to get out of this mess. What sparked the change for us is that we were told quite early that we couldn't have children. I went to our local church in the Gold Coast. I went by myself and I knew I didn't know what I wanted, I just wanted to attend church. So I cried out to God and I was like, please God, I want a baby. I want to change. I want our family to be united again. And, little did I know, at that point I was already pregnant, about 4 weeks. And I was just praising God and thanking God. We were just so in shock. But at that time, that still wasn't enough for Hans to change.
So we started attending Life when we came back to New Zealand. So she got involved in obviously serving, and she ended up joining the worship team. So I was literally coming from my friend's house from a drink up to pick her up, because we only had one car at the time, driving drunk to drop her off to call time. But again, with Ruth being persistent, she actually tricked me into coming to our first Connect group. I didn't expect anything. Again, I was just expecting to go have a good time with good people. But it was a word that was about letting go. And at that moment, I don't know what it was, but I just felt like kind of everything fall off my shoulders. The guilt, the shame that I was holding on to, the mask that I was constantly holding up. I just felt everything kind of be stripped away. And I'm not a crier, but I was just bawling my eyes out in front of everyone. So I never knew that you could come as you are. I always thought I had to fix myself before I could come to Christ. But realizing that that's not the case made a massive difference. Now we're involved in church as a family. We're slowly mending relationships left, right and centre with family and friends. But we wouldn't have it any other way. And cringeworthy when we look back at it and kind of speak it out loud as well. It's a lifestyle we regret massively, but it's kind of molded us into the people we are today.
It's just about taking that step of faith and finding your faith for yourself and maybe finding it again. It's never too late. It's never too late to make that change for yourself and for your family and your kids.